Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to, not an unboxing really, but like just showing off some of the toys for the Playmobil sets for Scooby-Doo. I think I'm gonna do a longer video to start with. We're gonna go over the Mystery Machine, and the core gang, plus the first set of mystery packs. And then I'll do a second one where I kind of go through some of the, expansions that came out. Just because that way we get the idea of what they are, and then if you're like, hey, you're still interested, you can check out the expansions, because lots of the characters will be the same. They'll just have some new interesting components. So what is Playmobil, if you're not familiar with it? They are, technically they're toys designed for littler kids. They're kind of like a cross between, I would sort of say, not quite Legos, but like they're like kids action figures, I guess, is the best way. So they have costumes or outfits you can snap on, so you can switch and swap with jobs or clothing on characters, or costumes in this case. They have little pre-made items and things like this. So they did a line based on Scooby-Doo, and I thought it was really cool. I'm like, hey, I like old school Scooby-Doo. So we decided to go ahead and check this out. So I bought a bunch of them. So we're gonna go ahead and go through them all. And has some neat extra other little features. So the first box set here, I'm going to look over. It has the Mystery Machine, has Daphne, Fred, and Velma. Then the second pack we will look at as well has our first Ghost, who is a ghost, and Scooby and Shaggy. And then we'll see how long this video goes. If it goes too long, then I'll do a part 2 with the mystery packs. We'll see, because there's a lot of stuff to go over in here. So let's look at our characters. There's our Mystery Machine right there. And if we get our characters, we have Fred, Velma, and Daphne. And I'm just going to bring Scooby and Shaggy right away. Just show them all off at the same time. And we got Scooby and Shaggy. We have the entire gang, as well as we had, we'll put the ghost up here on the top. We have a ghost miniature, who's the same type of guy. He's just wearing a costume. Yes, this is just kind of a fun little playset for kids. They're really into Scooby-Doo. They have other things, too. They have other, they've made Back to the Future. They've made Ghostbusters. So other, like, pop culture things as well. Otherwise, you can pick up, like, regular, like, city stuff or fantasy. All the different types of things. It's kind of neat. They have all these little neat accessories and things that mentioned to the show, which are really cool. You kind of have to build the characters, so that's just one thing to kind of keep in mind if you are picking these up for a kid, because they do come in pieces. Let me grab a box here of something I haven't opened yet. I'm going to see if I can kind of show you what one of the characters looks like in multiple pieces, because I haven't opened all of these. So, you might get lucky, like I did here in this set. They're basically put together. Sometimes they're not. Alright, so I'm not going to worry about trying to show that off. But they do sometimes come in multiple pieces. Their arms just pop off, their legs. But they have pretty decent movement. So we have, like, Shaggy here. His arms go all the way around. He can bend all the way down to sit down. Same thing. We have Fred. But, like, Fred has an extra little ascot collar here. It comes on and off. I'm gonna move the Mystery Machine back a little bit. Like Daphne here, she'll have a skirt. Now the skirt can pop off, fairly easily. So then it's like her shirt's actually just all part of her instead of being a separate top. But then she still has her waist. Some of the guys have different bodies that come together. I have to see if I can snap this back on. This is the only thing that might happen though. Trying to play these things might pop off here and there. And there's, of course, Daphne. She also has a skirt. And it lifts up so that way they can bend over or sit down. And then we have Scooby here. It's definitely a really cool Scooby-Doo. He does have a mouth that opens, so you can give him different facial expressions. His head goes like that, so you can stand him up. He does come with a little base stand here, too. You can kind of slide his legs between, so if you want him to stand up a little bit better. It doesn't work perfectly, but it does work at least. movable tail. And all the characters have hands to hold different things. So we're going to look at these a little bit closer. These are the ghost files, but we have different items as well. I'll look at the ghost in just a minute. So I kind of just want to look over each of the figures there. But let's look at the mystery machine. What do we have here? So this is like... Now, some of the sets, like the mystery packs or Scooby and stuff, or Scooby Shaggy pack, don't come with any extra things, really. They may come with like one or two accessories related to the characters, but they don't come with playsets. You can, additionally, that's one of the other videos I would do. They have more playsets that have some other different characters, as well as like more accessories to kind of like fill out the theme of an episode. I don't have all of them, so I can't do a video on everything, but here's our mystery machine. Scooby snack license plate. It's got some rubber tires, so all the tires move, so this does roll like a regular car. You can drive it around. We have a door on the side. We'll look at that in a second. We have doors on the back. We have a little hitch here, because there will be some sets that let you attach it, or probably for other play sets. Yeah, so that's kind of how that looks. Then what we can do is, of course... Oh, just trying to keep my boxes here to hold this up a little bit higher. The back doors will open. You can see we have a bunch of accessories and stuff in there. We can pull out. If I can pull them out, there's a little notch on there. So I have a little tray of some different accessories. We'll look at that in a moment. There's a bunch of other stuff going on, but you can take one of your characters. For example, I could take Fred, and we could slide him in there, and he can sit on the seats, so you can store everybody. Now, what they also did to make this a little bit easier, we're going to close this back up. Little notches on there to hold it. If we look at the side, we see we have a side door. That can also open up. Just kind of a neat little effect. And close that back up. Then we also have this, is our front windshield pops off, and our top piece pops off. What that does is that will give us access to get into the other seats and put characters in there a little bit easier than trying to slide them through the door. Plus you can put guys in the front seats. Steering wheel doesn't, it does move, a little half steering wheel there, kind of neat. We do have a drink holder here. So we do have some of the accessories, and that little hand spots. So again, we'll just use Fred as our example. So you can have him hold that, which is always really fun. You can slide him into the seat, but you gotta make sure you turn it that one. I'll put his drink back in there. So you can have Fred driving, and we do have a blue drink as well. So that's really neat. But yeah, there's a spot for 2 people there. You have a spot 3, 4, and you have a 5, 6 spots. You hold 6 different characters in there, sitting down. Unfortunately, I can't get it. Now, there are little holes here. These are for, I think this is because this is the base design of how the mystery machine is built based off probably other cars. So it's probably for an additional component from a different toy. Or an add-on, so that's why it doesn't do anything for here. Inside, we have a couple of different things. We have this seat that just fell out. I'm going to kind of open up the back here as well. Maybe get a little bit better view of that. Seat shouldn't have fallen out, but it does fold down. So the idea is then you could have, like, Fred, Daphne, Scooby, or Shaggy, Velma, and you could have Scoob, like, lay on top of this. Like, I have to probably, like, lay him down. Like, lay his legs down. You could, like, have him lay down on top of that. And he could ride in the back seat. If you didn't want someone sitting on there. But then they have the seats, so you can interact with this little computer here on the side. Just kind of a neat little thing here. It has a little attached. Whoops. And of course, I just pulled it right out. It has a little gun attached to it, which is a little rubber hose. That kind of keeps it attached to the gun. Then a character can hold this. It's like a gun or a scanner, however you want to play with it, I suppose. That just attaches right back into there. And then the other thing we have is this piece. I'm just going to pull this all the way out. I'm going to close up the mystery machine. We're going to put this back over here. And this is one of the neat things you get with mystery machines. You get this little ghost detective box, which has a little light up screen on there so you can see what's on the screen. I believe this was also... Oh, there, that turns on the lights on that side. So you can turn on the lights on there. That's kind of neat. And then what they have is they're supposed to be little ghost files. So this one says Scooby-Doo as a picture of the gang. And the idea is you slide them in there, and you're supposed to be able to view them a little bit easier. I don't know if it really helps, because I think that light's a little bit too bright. But you get several other ones with the different toys. You also get a little box here, which can sit in your mystery machine as well, which will hold a bunch of them. So like we have another one that's just Scooby-Doo. Let's see if I can... You can also slide that in there as well. Again, it kind of shows it, but that light's almost too bright for it. There is a map. So you can get a little map so you can figure out where they're trying to go. And I think the rest of these in here all go... Yep, they go specifically to each different ghost you find. So we'll kind of look at them when we look at the ghosts. I'm going to set those off to the side. So we'll look at some of our other accessories here. So we get some Scooby snacks. Of course, you can have Scooby-Doo, those Scooby snacks. We have a purple box. I have Daphne over here. She's holding a tan box. She also has a flashlight, because of course, what mystery hunters wouldn't have a flashlight. We do have Shaggy here, who has the ghost. So he has the one for the ghost villain. So that would have came with his set with the ghost. We have a little a GPS or radar gun, so one of the characters can hold. We get a camera. Kind of neat. Also has a little strap, so you can put it like around a character's wrist. So if like we could give that to Velma. If I can get this to work, so you can actually run the cord. Here, I'm trying to do this from behind the camera. So you can run that cord like around her wrist, and I just dropped the camera. So then she can just kind of hang the camera there. She also gets a magnifying glass, which is actually a real working magnifying glass, which is really cool. You can kind of see her looking at her eyeball there. Another, of course, mystery item we need. Then we have a hot dog. Because, of course, Scooby and Shaggy need food. Now, Scoob can kind of hold items. Not really. Like, they kind of gave him a little bit of a handhold. But it's not always the best. I think you can put them in his mouth. Maybe not. Oh well. But yeah, his little thing. We also have a pizza. A piece of pizza. Or a slice. And then we have a purple donut, like a jelly-filled donut. So you get a bunch of little accessories. Of course, these guys are all about food, but I like to get included mystery items as well. We get, that's kind of neat when we get a green box of Scooby snacks on a line. This is so that someone can use it to kind of like, use it as a trap or a lure. And then I think the final... Nope, we have a couple other pieces here. We have a treasure map. So it's showing like there's some stairs, there's some pizza, a skull, a castle. So that's kind of neat. We do have a hamburger, because of course, why wouldn't they have a hamburger? This actually came, I think, in several pieces. I believe, I'm not going to try and take it apart in case it didn't. I believe that belongs to... So that was the main different components for the two sets, and then we had the ghost. I believe the ghost actually glows in the dark, so if I had a way to, like, you know, show him off in the dark, he would glow a little bit. But what's neat about all the mystery or the ghost characters is much like Scooby-Doo, they all have secret identities. So it's, oh no, who is really under the mask? It's that guy. Who I don't know who this is, but it's, I think they're supposed to try and look close as they can to kind of whoever was actually under there. Now I can actually see if I look on the back here, his costume can pop off. And then here's his regular version. I like actually didn't just make him plain underneath. They made him look like a regular guy. So that's kind of a neat narrative you can play around with these ghosts or mystery characters. You could have this guy hanging out somewhere. He's like, oh, what are these pesky kids doing here? And then, later he has to go haunt them. So he throws on his ghost outfit. So you get that up there. And then they have like this special headpiece for hats. Just kind of pop them on there. And then now we have the ghost. All the different other characters have hair pieces as well. Let's see if I can just pop off Shaggy's. So he has like an open hole in his head. Just so you can pop different hair pieces. So you can actually mix and match characters quite a bit. And now I think it only snaps on, stays on pretty well. So that was our base set worth of characters. So I'm going to do is we're going to look at the mystery packs. So I'm going to pause for a sec, just move this stuff over, and then we'll look at our mystery packs. Alright, so they made mystery packs for these, which are definitely a really fun little interesting thing to do. So there are 12 ghosts to collect, so here's a couple of them pictured on there. Each ghost comes with a card, which are the little plastic things here, and a little sticker, so you kind of keep it as like a track record. So we're going to look through all 12 from set 1. I believe they did eventually release a set 2. Some of these guys do also appear again in some of the other sets. So if you missed one of these characters, they might be available in one of the other sets to pick up. But these came out first. I think they maybe didn't know what was going to happen. So here we have up first, and they're all based off characters from the first season of the original cartoon. So here we have the Indian doctor. Let's see if I can get his little... And of course, it doesn't want to focus, because why would it want to? Alright, you guys are all going to have to scooch back. So maybe if I have less things in there, this will focus on this. There's the Indian doctor. It's kind of got like the buffalo mask on, so you can see it's not the exact representation on the head. It's kind of just like a sticker on the mask. He's got his little axe, he's got a little pouch, which is really cool. I mean, the detail of like having like, I can't know what they're called. I want to call them flares, but whatever, on his thing. And then, of course, you can unmask him. So you can pop off his thing. He's like, oh, you caught me. I am not actually a Native American. I don't know what these guys sound like. I haven't watched these old episodes in forever. Alright, but we have the Witch Doctor. We'll kind of set him back there. Or the Indian Doctor, which isn't probably proper to say anymore. But I like that they kept them what they're supposed to be. Everyone's favorite, the Creeper. I think I mean, I might be wrong. I think he's the first villain shown in the intro. Yeah, so there we got the Creeper. He's got an eyeball, which is really a fun accessory. He's got this coat. Now, so you see how his arms are inside the coat. So to take that off, you literally have to pop his arms out. And the way some of these guys are built is that, like, some of the top and bottom pieces are kind of connected together. So if you popped his arms off, it's very possible the rest of it would just fall apart. But then he's got, he also has his hidden identity. So if we pop his hair off, it's just somewhat easier said than done. I mean, there's probably some trick to it that I'm not catching. Alright, pull it down here. There we go. So then what you do is you're actually supposed to then pop his hair off. And then you flip his head around and you put his hair back on, and there's his regular face. Not painted, so it's just on the other side of his creeper face, which is kind of a neat way to do it. Some guys have masks, some have flip overable faces. So there's his regular face. Yeah, it makes it a little bit harder to just straight up unmask him in like a dramatic moment, but it's what it is. We have the Caretaker. Not to be... I think he might... I don't remember if he's from the episode Miner 49er. Now, it is neat, though. They're all Playmobil, so, like, some of these guys are more burly or look a little bit different, and they can only do so much with it. But I like also the fact that you pick these up, even if you're just playing with the other characters. Like, maybe you're not even collecting Scooby-Doo. They're definitely going to add some interesting stuff. So, yeah, it just comes off. He doesn't have an extra face. You can take off his beard, and be like, it was really that guy all along. So like some of them had different faces instead of all just the generic face, which is kind of nice, but they didn't... There's only so many faces you can do. But there's his hat. So there's our Caretaker. Up next, we have Zheng Tao. Or Zheng Hu. He's our mystical magic man. Yeah, I say, like, even if you pick these up for, like, some of the accessories, like, you're just buying these, your kid already has Playmobil toys, or the other way around, you're buying Scooby-Doo stuff because you really like the Scooby-Doo and you want to make some fun scenes. You could pick up other Playmobil stuff and get different accessories. Alright, so then this guy, I believe his little hat came off. I think he has the same idea here, as you can pop off his turban, robe, headpiece, and then on the other side, we have him with his very Asian mustache. So that's so neat. I like that. Yeah, they could have made them all just generic faced characters, but they didn't. All right, so there's him. That is number 4. Number 5. Trigger warning for people that don't like clowns. We have the Ghost Clown. So just heads up on that. There's our Ghost Clown. He has this... I love this fun balloon accessory. So he's got like a scary balloon. That's just kind of a fun idea. He's also got something some of the other characters have. He has gloves that come on and off. His costume actually can separate. So if you want to take off his costume, so he doesn't have the clown outfit on, as well as his feet that come off. So I can pop these feet off as well, which make him have the big shoes. So that's kind of neat. So you can basically drop him down to being like a generic character, and then he's going to have the headpiece that pops off to have the non-clown face. So again, if you're playing around, you can have these guys. Also, a neat idea of just with having a mystery pack is if you bought these and you're like, oh no, I got a second guy, and I did right here. So like I got this is one of the other characters, so I got a second one. So now I just have a generic guy that's in town. I don't have to, I just didn't put his costume on him, and now I just have random guy in town that my Scooby gang like talked to. So maybe you could use it in place of like, hey, there was 2 villains. One guy was running around as a ghost, while the other guy was doing this, or just the fact that I wouldn't have to. And that'd be the other thing about buying maybe other generic characters, is you could get more characters to use. Or if you bought the play sets to have the second version of a character, you could use one version with that character and then one without. So here we have, of course, our Black Knight. Now, it might be him or the Creeper. I'm not sure which one. One of these two, I believe, are the first characters shown in the video. But yeah, he's got the sword. He's got his armor. Now, unfortunately, for him, I just threw his armor piece on the ground. So he has a shoulder pad that you can attach to him, which gives him his armor. So that's kind of cool. Then you give him armor, but his legs are always going to be like armored. So even if you take off his breastplate and all that, he's still going to be armored. But let's take off his helmet. And it's just, it's a geeky guy underneath. He's got glasses. So that's kind of cool. And of course, you always mix and match some of these characters you can mix and match as well. Because obviously some of them have pants, like pants or like a shirt design that really fits their character. Some of them have ones that snap over them. So there's that. Then we have Ghost Diver. There's our Ghost Diver. The fact that his porthole is open and not clear makes him a little less impressive. This is probably I like the character, but it's probably one of my least favorite of these because his helmet doesn't stick on very well. It pops off very well. Look at it, he's getting a hole in his head. I wish it had some way of like kind of clasping on like one of the other helmets because it's really loose. But he's got like a bear trap. I'm not really sure why. But then he has like these armor sleeves that pop on and off. Yep, that's our. Oh, sorry, I already dropped him, and his helmet came right off because it was still in my hand. All right, up next, let's look at another space-suited character. We have the Space Kook. So I can get the definitely a neat design here. It's a cool way, like, represented. He has, like, that skull face without, like, they could have just had his head flip around and then his skull painted on one side. But the fact that it's right on there. He's got a grabby claw, which is really neat. He's got some different armor pieces. And then, like his, you can pop his face mask off. You can see him. Or you can pop off the entire outfit, which reveals that guy that we had before. That I said was my duplicate character. So that's what he would look like. Oh, you can pop this back in. Now, there's little spots on some of these, which I'm guessing in that, and like some of these guys have like hook holes, something like that. That's probably because these were reused designs from other characters, would be my guess. Like from the regular Playmobil, it might just be an astronaut character they just repainted. So it's probably what that is. Then we have Carlotta, the evil witch. So here's a witch. She has her magic wishing ball. She's got a little cape on, which is kind of cool. Again, you can always swap some of these things out for other characters. And then if we take off her face helmet? Why did I say it like that? She's got a regular generic face. I wish she had more of a female face, like Velma or Daphne do or have. So like if I grab them too, so like yeah, so they have like eyebrows or like just folks. I guess you may not want to give the villain a smile, but like they have a little bit more of a feminine look to them. I just kind of wish they'd done that to that character. Almost again opposed to like Shaggy. If it wasn't for his little beard, and his hair, he would look exactly like any other character. But yeah, there's only so much you can do with their face. Alright. We have the Witch Doctor. He's got his skull. And his little ankle like things you can take on and off. And you can pop off his mask and revealing another guy with glasses. And we'll put that one back on. We have 2 left. We have our Headless Horseman. So there's our Headless Horseman. He's got a riding cane or whip, I guess. That's probably what that's supposed to be. He's got some white gloves on, big cape. Then his helmet, of course, pops off, his pumpkin head. So although this looks kind of dumb, I to some extent almost with some of the, like almost every character came designed like that, so you could swap out hats a lot easier. Alright, then our final mystery pack character is one of my favorites, the Snow Ghost, who you can't really even see his picture. But yeah, there's his big thing. He's got his little ice crystal. He's got some ice gloves on. We can pop off his head. He's got that. And you can also pop off his outer clothes. So we have that outfit there. Although his arms are still going to be blue, even if you take off the gloves. You know, you can only do, again, you can only do so much. These aren't meant to be, you know, $30 packs of things. Now, I don't know how readily available any of these mystery packs characters are going to be at this point. Or any of this stuff will be available, but I did think it'd be fun to show off. I also do have this flashlight, which I believe goes with my diver. And then you get the little stickers for each character as you go through and get them. I like how they have them in more animated poses to look like their regular versions than they can actually pose in, like bent arms and stuff. So that's kind of fun. They made him look more... Yeah, so there he's holding his flashlight. And then there's like the checklist, of course, you would have gotten during the Mystery Series unboxing. So each one comes with their own little thing. So here's kind of what I was talking about putting together. So like sometimes you'll have the body or the feet, and then they'll have a base like inside that puts on, and you put the arms in, and that snaps into the like mid torso. So if you pop the arms off, you know, you basically have to take all of it apart, and there's the head kind of pops in. They do pop in kind of hard. So just saying, if you're buying this to play with your kids or whatever, or even buying for yourself, just keep in mind on that. They can be a little bit tricky. And then you did get a roll-up poster, which has stickers for all the Series 1 stuff in there. I don't have that readily available, but that's definitely something you can pick up. What's also neat is if we go through the booklets here, they have in multiple languages, but they have some about stuff for Scooby-Doo. So yeah, just talking about who Scooby-Doo is. We have for Scooby and Shaggy. Again, they reanimated them in different poses that the physical characters can't actually be in. Now, I do find this interesting for my sake, being, you know, obviously I'm bought these in America, I'm recording in America. The America is the second language on here. Scooby-Doo, we have normal Shaggy Rogers. We get Fred Jones. And Daphne Blake. Velma Dinkley. Well, and people that didn't know their full names. And then, of course, it shows how the Mystery Machine kind of pops together. Now, it does have stickers you have to put on as well. So, there's always that. Keep in mind on that type of stuff. Just kind of shows how some of these pieces go together. So, some different stuff in there. And it's just a different... This is how the tires go on. This is all your different components. You gotta put your hot dogs and your cups and all that stuff together. Some of the characters just have, you know, snap-onable pieces. And then, of course, just showing off Series 1 worth of stuff. And then later on, they did release... then, again, we'll go through it. They released more characters in special packs. Just trying to see if this had anything that showed the ghost. It shows me clicking on, but I thought maybe that had, like, a description. So, like, the little hooking stuff in the Scooby Snacks and Burger come with the Shaggy set. And then he's supposed to glow in the dark. But again, I don't have anything to show that. Alright, so that's what we have for Scooby-Doo Playmobil Series 1. So if you enjoyed this, well, let me know. We'll check out video 2, which will go over a bunch of the different boxes. We might end up having to go into video 3, depending on how long that goes. Alright, see you guys later. Bye.